John, from what I've heard from everyone, pretty successful preseason. You guys seem to be ahead of the curve with a new coaching regime and everything. How do you feel?
Yeah, I think the team played very well during preseason, and we got off to a good start, which we talked about doing, and hopefully that continues into the start of this season. You know, we need to get off to a good start this year after the slow start we had last season.
Diego was talking about that Dennis's style is more aggressive. Could mean a little more pressure on you with other guys pinching up front to score. Do you like that system?
Hey, you know what? I'm on the field. Whatever they want to do. My job is to keep the ball at the back of the net, bottom line. That's what I get paid to do, and some days you see more, some days you see a little, and, just got to do what I got to do.
Talk to different guys, different approaches in the offseason, what they do to stay sharp. What do you do personally?
First of all, as I've gotten older, I've realized you do need some downtime. So, I go back to Columbus, hang out with my wife for a few weeks, and, I run a goalkeeper academy there. So I try to get away from any physical stuff that I do for a couple weeks. And then, beginning of December, I get back into it. We've got some strength and conditioning guys in Columbus that are quite good, and they get me back in. They have a sand pit. I do a lot of plyometrics in the sand pit, working on my vertical and my explosiveness. And usually about 4 or 5 weeks before preseason starts, I start catching balls again and getting into the training side of things. But, I constantly am working out. I'm not one of these guys who is, can take it off and then just show up on day one. The older you get, the better you got to take care of your body, and I've learned that, after 12 years now.
How grueling is it physically for a goalie?
It is pretty grueling. I mean, the training's more grueling than the games. Games are more mental. If you ever talk to a goalkeeper after a game, unless he's seen about 50 shots, he's not necessarily going to be that physically tired as the field players are. But for a goalkeeper, it's more mental because you're constantly focused, you're constantly organizing, you're constantly making sure that things are right. So, the time you go home, you're fried.
I'm glad you bring that up. Hockey goalies, they have that mentality. Mm-hmm. They know a team's only as good as they are. Is there a special mentality that differentiates you from other players on the field as a goalie?
I think, goalkeepers are all mental, in some way or the other. I mean, I tell the boys I'm the most sane goalkeeper they'll ever meet, but they don't agree with me on that. But, as a goalkeeper, everything's mental, because you're either the hero or you're the GOAT. There's no in between. And one of the things that I've also learned as I've gotten older is the mental preparation for games and trainings and the week-to-week grind of it, and just making sure I'm mentally prepared to do my job, no matter what's going on in front of me. No matter if we're playing great or if we're playing poorly, I've got to be on my game.
Last one for you. You look at your young teammates on this team. Who's going to have the breakout year, do you think?
Well, Chris Rolfe better have a breakout year. He's been slacking off the last couple of years, but no. It's only because he just walked by. You know what? That's hard to say. We got a bunch of good young players. I think Justin Mapp's going to have a good year. Chris Rolfe, and we've got some very talented players. So it's hard to pick just one.